Hello, my name is Billy Paderes from BSEE. Today I will discuss about the topic random variables and their probability distribution. Most of the processes we encounter generate outcomes that can be interpreted in terms of real numbers such as heights of children, number of voters favoring a certain candidate, tensile strength of fires, and number of accidents at specified intersections. These numerical outcomes with values that can change from trial to trial are called random variables. So, that is the meaning of random variables. A random variable is a real-valued function whose domain is a sample space. Another meaning, a random variable is a variable whose possible values are determined by chance. Random variables are typically denoted by uppercase letters such as x, y, and z. The actual numerical values that a random variable can assume are denoted by lowercase letters such as x, y, and z. The probability that the random variable x takes a value x is denoted by p of x or probability of x. We encounter two types of random variables, discrete and continuous. So, example number 1. A coin is tossed thrice. Let the variable x represent the number of heads. X will be the heads and each outcomes. So, matos tayo ng coin 3 beses. Sa first toss, pwedeng ang lumabas na possible outcome is head or tail. Sa second toss, pwedeng lumabas ay head or tail ulit. Ganon din dito sa tail. Head and tail ulit. Sa third toss, ito, pwede ulit lumabas ng dalawang possible outcome. Pwede siyang maging head or tail. Ito din, pwede siyang maging head or tail. Ito din, head or tail, and so on. Head or tail. So, we have 8 outcomes when we toss a coin thrice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, the number of heads. Kung ilan ba yung nakuha nating heads sa each outcomes. So, we have head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, or tail, tail, tail. Pwedeng wala. So, sample space. So, ganyan lang yan. So, ang nakuha nating possible outcomes ay pwedeng 3, pwedeng 2, pwedeng 1, pwedeng wala. So, the value of x will be the 3, 2, and 1. Two types of random variables, discrete and continuous. Discrete random variable. It can only take finite, countable number of distinct values. These values can be represented by non-negative whole numbers. So, discrete random variable, na-represent lang siya by whole numbers. A random variable x is said to be discrete if it can take only a finite number or countably infinite number of possible values x. So, example, let x, number of students randomly selected to be interviewed by a researcher. This is a discrete random variable because its possible values are 0, 1, and so on. So, tama. Number of students randomly selected to be interviewed by a researcher. So, nabibilang pa natin kung ilan yung students na may interview by a researcher. Hindi naman pwedeng hatiin ng students. Another examples, number of left-handed teachers randomly selected in the faculty room. This is a discrete random variable because its possible values are 0, 1, or 2, and so on. So, same thing with example number 1. Number of left-handed teachers randomly selected in a faculty room. Still, countable pa rin siya. Nabibilang pa rin natin siya kahit because whole number siya. So, last example, number of defective light bulbs among the randomly selected light bulbs. This is the discrete random variable because the number of defective light bulbs which x can assume are 0, 1, and 2, and so on. So, that is the meaning of discrete random variable. Continuous random variable can assume an infinite number of values in an interval between two specific values. The values often results of measurement. For example, the weights of randomly selected student and funds. So, ang continuous random variable, it is the results of measurements. So, weights of randomly selected students and pounds. Ang weights naman natin is may decimal, ganon. The length of randomly selected shoes of senior students in centimeters. Kung yung haba daw ng shoes of senior students in centimeters. Time it takes to run a race, amount of lemonade in a jug. So that is the continuous random variable. Next. So, we are in the discrete probability distribution. Sa discrete probability distribution is may dalawa siyang properties. Una is, the probability of each value of the discrete random variable is between 0 and 1 inclusive. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng probability of each value is between 0 and 1. Dapat is naka-proper fraction siya. Second properties is the sum of all the probabilities is 1. The summation of P of X is equal to 1. So, lahat ng probabilities, kapag inad natin siya, dapat siya mag-equal to 1. For example, X is equal to 0, X will be the 1, 2, and 3. So, the probability of 0 is 0.2, probability of 1 is 0.3, the probability of 2 is 0.3, and probability of 3 is 0.3. So, let's see if ito ba ay nasatisfy do sa pangunang property. So, each value is between 0 and 1, approved. So, tama nga. 0.2, 0.3 is between 0 and 1. So, yung properties number 2 naman. The sum of each value is equals to 1. So, ipapag-add lang natin itong mga probabilities na ito, 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.2. This is equal to 1. Example number 2. The given spinner is divided into 4 sections. Let X be the score where the arrow will stop, numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4 in the drawing below. So, meron tayong spinner dito. Ang hanapin is, find the probability that the arrow will stop at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, if X mo ay is equals to 1, ano daw yung probability na magtama siya sa number 1? So, we have 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, isa lang naman yung 1 natin dito. So, P, probability of X is equals to 1 is equals to 1 over 4. Kasi, 4 yung sections niya. Kasi isa lang yung 1 dito. So, 1 over 4. Ganun din sa 2. If X is equals to 2, the probability of X equals to 2 is equals to 1 over 4. And so on. If X equals to 3, ganun din. 1 over 4. If X equals to 4, the probability of 4 is 1 over 4. Sunod na hinahanap is, construct the discrete probability distribution of random variable X. So, gagawa lang tayo ng table. So, X equals to 1. The probability of 1 is 1/4. 1 over 4. Sa 2, 1 over 4. Sa 3, 1 over 4. Sa 4, 1 over 4 din. Titingnan natin kung ito ba ay nasatisfy niya yung property of discrete probability distribution, yung property number 1 and 2. Sa property number 1, each value is between 0 and 1. So, tama nga. Naka-proper fraction siya. 1 over 4, 1 over 4, and so on. Sa number 2, so, dapat lahat ng probability na outcome na ito is mag-equal sa 1. So, kukunin lang natin itong probability of x. So, it equals to siya 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4. So, magiging siyang 2 over 4, 3 over 4, 4 over 4 is equals to 1. So, another example. Spinner ulit. So, the spinner below is divided into 8 sections. 8 sections na siya. Let x be the score where the arrow will stop numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4 in the drawing below. So, same lang siya doon sa panguna sa previous example. So, A. Find the probability that the arrow will stop at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, hanapin lang natin yung probability na mag-i-stop ito sa number na ito. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If P is equals to 1, yung 1 daw. Yung possible na magtatama siya sa 1. So, ilan ba yung 1 natin dito? So, 1 and 2. So, meron dito na 8 sections. So, probability of x equals to 1 is 2 over 8. So, itong 2 over 8 na ito is pwede siyang masimplified is equals to 1 over 4. Ganun din sa probability of x is equals to 2. So, ilan ba yung 2 natin dito? Isa lang. So, 1 over 8 lang siya. Sa P, probability of x equals to 3, dalawa siya, 1 and 2. So, 2 over 8. Tapos, isi-simplify lang natin siya. So, magiging 1 over 4. Sa probability of x equals to 4, ilan ba yung 4 dito? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, meron siyang 8 sections, 8 possible outcomes. So, 3 over 8. So, ito lang yung answers dito sa hinahanap natin sa A. Find the probability that the arrow will stop at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next. So, ganun lang din. Sa B, ang hinahanap is construct the discrete probability distribution of random variable x. So, x is equals to 1, 2, 3, and 4. The probability of x ng 1 is 1 over 4, ng 2 is 1 over 8, ng 3 is 1 over 4, and 4, 3 over 8. Sorry. So, titingnan natin kung satisfy ba ng dalawang nito yung dalawang property ng discrete probability distribution. So, number 1, each value is between 0 and 1. Approved. Why? Because naka-proper fraction siya. 1 over 4, 1 over 8, 1 over 4, and 3 over 8. That is the proper fraction. So, sa number 2, we all know na i-add lang natin siya at dapat mag-resolve siya sa 1. So, summation of property of x equals to ito, 1 over 4, and then ito, 1 over 8 plus 1 over 4 plus 3 over 8. I-calculate nyo lang siya, tapos magre-resolve siya sa 1. Yun lamang guys. Thank you. Thank you for watching.